Hi there. In this video, we break down silent treatment, why people use it, what it does to attraction and trust, how it destroys emotional safety, the difference between healthy space and emotional punishment, and what to do instead if you want respect, intimacy, and long-term connection. My name is Jessica OS. Welcome to my channel. So you think ignoring her makes you look strong. It actually makes her stop caring. Silent treatment is not power, it's poison. And if you use it as a weapon, it will kill your relationship from the inside out. Let me show you how fast that rot can actually spread. Before that though, let me briefly touch on why a lot of guys default to silent treatment whenever there's a problem or conflict. Now, most guys don't choose silent treatment because they love drama. They use it because they basically don't know how to fight without losing. And here are some common drivers, right? First, emotional flooding. You're overwhelmed. You don't have the language for anger without exploding, and silence just seems to be safer, right? Second is power play. You think whoever cares less wins, so you perform emotional distance to gain leverage. 3, avoiding accountability. If you do not respond, you don't have to own mistakes. 4, childhood conditioning. And this could actually be a thing. You know, you grew up in a home where conflict meant withdrawal, not resolution. So you repeat what you saw, even in adult life. 5, fear of being wrong or rejected. So silence is a shield. If you do not engage, she can't reject you. So those are some of the things. And here's where it gets dark. Silent treatment does not just create awkward hours, it rewires how safe she feels with and around you. Human brains hate uncertainty. When someone we care about withdraws, the threat system fires. Cortisol and anxiety will spike, and trust will begin to erode. The relationship gets coded as unstable. I mean, do you want her turned on by you or terrified of your next shutdown? So cooling off is taking space to protect the relationship. Silent treatment, on the other hand, is withholding your presence to control the relationship. One lowers heat, the other rots trust. And most men tend to mix the two and are not even aware they do that. So there are 3 levels of not talking, okay? The first level involves what I call the cool-off window. It's healthy. You stay silent for a few minutes to a few hours. You clearly say you need time. You return when promised. No drama. Level 2 is what I call the tactical retreat, and this is a gray area. You slow your replies, you say little, but you haven't explained why. She senses the distance and starts to panic. And this is where many guys slide into level 3 without meaning to. Level 3 is weaponized silence, right? Or what we call silent treatment, right? You saw her message, you're active online, you respond to others but not her. You want her to sweat, apologize, chase, or feel punished. That's actually manipulation. Silent treatment is intentional emotional withdrawal used to punish, control, or avoid accountability. So what's the difference between silent treatment and stonewalling? Essentially, silent treatment means actively withholding across time, right? Ignoring calls, texts, eye contact. The object is to make the other person uncomfortable enough to fold. And stonewalling actually happens in real time, right? It's a real-time shutdown during a heated moment, a heated argument, you know, arms crossed, one-word answers. You mentally leave the conversation even if you're still in the room, and often happens due to emotional flooding. These two overlap, but stonewalling can become silent treatment if you don't circle back to the person you're in the argument with. So a couple of micro behaviors are reading her message and leaving it on read when you're still posting on social media, answering everything but the issue she actually raised, only replying with emojis or short neutral responses for days. It involves talking normally to friends, roommates, online communities, but avoiding her like a plague. It involves being physically present but emotionally off, you know, headphones in, no eye contact, short grunts. It involves using sleep as escape, you know, going to bed early to avoid talking. It involves things like financial or logistical freezes, right? Which means like refusing to confirm plans, rides, money conversations until she apologizes, things like that. Now, if you do 3 or more of these, you're actually not cooling off, you're punishing. So you see where I'm going with this? Okay. So depending on how long you stay silent or give her the silent treatment, you could be causing some irreparable damage, right? So 0 to 2 hours is usually safe if you told her that you need to cool off. 2 to 12 hours is where anxiety begins to grow. She starts replaying the last convo and attraction starts to dip. 12 to 24 hours, she begins to self-blame or anger. At this point, the attachment to the relationship alarm bell will start ringing. 24 hours plus with no signal, trust fractured. She now weighs whether you're emotionally safe in the long term. Repeat this pattern and you could train her to detach from you. So what does doing things like these cost you, right? It lowers respect. She can't count on you when it matters. It forces her into an anxious chase that eventually burns out. It makes you look emotionally unskilled. Strong men can name feelings without nuking the connection or breaking the connection, right? It creates a pattern where real issues never get solved, so you repeat the same fights. Silence delays conflict. It doesn't erase it. So when you feel the urge to ghost after conflict, what you should be asking yourself is, are you trying to calm down or trying to make her worry? Have you told her you need time? Did you give her a return time? Are you still interacting with others while ignoring her? Would you be okay if she treated you this way? These questions will help give you clarity. Let's move on to talk about the 5 deadly ripple effects of silent treatment. Let's talk about fallout. So these are 5 relationship killers silent treatment sets in motion, and each one lowers attraction. Stack 2 or more, and the relationship is already on life support. You ready? Here they are. Okay, I'll start from number 5. Your resentment storage tank starts to fill up. Now, she can't resolve issues because basically you won't talk. So hurt begins to stack up quietly. One day she's done and you never saw it coming. She didn't leave suddenly. She left silently while you were silent. 4, emotional intimacy shrinks, right? The deeper conversations that she has with you all the time will begin to stop or be non-existent. You become roommates who occasionally hook up. When emotional intimacy goes, sexual desire follows. 3, conflict avoidance becomes the relationship culture. Instead of dealing with small issues, both of you start hiding. And that leads to secrets, fake peace, and simmering anger. 2, she turns elsewhere for emotional support. If she cannot come to you without punishment, she'll talk to someone else who'll listen. It might be girlfriends, an ex, a new guy who asks questions, a colleague. Emotional leakage is the start of emotional infidelity. If you've ever wondered how good women drift, this is it. And first and foremost, trust will collapse and there'll be attachment insecurity. When your response is unpredictable, she never knows when she's safe. Insecure attachment will start to grow, anxiety will spike, she'll chase harder, you'll pull away more, and a toxic loop will be formed. Once trust is unstable, everything costs more effort. Hugs, sex, plans, future talk, all very heavy. Now, this is not just about women, because silent treatment kills attraction in men too. It backfires on you. When you go silent and she chases, you think you're winning, but you're actually training yourself to only feel valued when your woman is anxious. And it's not attraction, it's ego feeding. Long term, you stop respecting her because the chase becomes too easy. Then you start pulling away for real. So you kill the relationship and your own ability to attach deeply. If you need her to feel panicked for you to feel wanted, that's not attraction. It's emotional addiction. So what do you do instead? Here's what I call the anti-silent treatment system. I have an acronym that I've created to help you remember what I'm about to teach you. Let's call it TAP IN. Tell, acknowledge, pause, intend, and name next contact. Okay. So T stands for tell what's happening. You can say, I'm upset. I don't want to say something I'll regret. A stands for acknowledge the relationship. Once again, you can say, you matter. I want to handle this right. P stands for pause intentionally. Say, I need about 45 minutes to clear my head. I stands for intend to resolve. Say, let's talk after I cool off because I want to understand what happened. N stands for name the next contact point. Say, I'll call you at 8 p.m. tonight. Use tap in anytime you feel the urge to shut down. In fact, screenshot that screen, tattoo it on your eyeballs, or do whatever it takes. I'll wrap up this video now. So listen, love doesn't die because 2 people had disagreements. Love dies when those disagreements never get voiced out. Silent treatment is emotional starvation. If you want a woman who trusts you, you have to stay emotionally reachable even when you're upset or mad. You get it? So use tap in, show leadership. That's what grown men do. And let me know in the comments, what's the longest you and your partner have ever gone without speaking after a fight? And what happened after? Drop the number of days and the aftermath in the comments. I'll pin the wildest story. Hope you got value from this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. Smash that like button as well. And yeah, I'll definitely be catching you in the next one. My name is Jessica OS. Cheers.